Good morning. Well, a few months ago I was talking to you about a pomegranate that we were enjoying, and now that season has passed, and as you see in front of me we have quite a few figs. The fig is also a really ancient fruit. The Bible talks about it, and of course the fig leaf is famous for how it helped Adam and Eve clothe themselves. I would say that because the fig comes from the Middle East, I believe comes from the Middle East, it is used to a dry climate, the Mediterranean climate, which we have here in California, and that therefore helps for us growers to have success with this crop. Years ago when I was growing up, the only fig that I ever saw was the black fig. I don't know if it was the Mission or the Dakota. That was the only thing that people seemed to have. Lately, maybe in the last 10 years, I was introduced to this particular fig, which we call the yellow longneck. The yellow longneck has been propagated through cuttings given to us and other members of California rare fruit growers. I don't believe you can find it in the nurseries, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I never cared for figs growing up. When I tasted my first yellowneck, I was in heaven. The fruit, as the name implies, is, as you see, yellow on the outside, but very yellow in the inside, and tastes really like honey. Just wonderful. And actually I just made a mistake, and you probably know this being fruit growers. We're not eating the fruit, we're eating the flower. Inside all those, whatever you call them, is the flower. And I believe that there's a wasp that does the pollinating, and maybe there are some that don't need a wasp and self-pollinate. However, it doesn't require any effort on the gardener's part except to care for the tree by watering. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a drought-friendly plant, does not really require a lot of water. It's easy to grow, especially from, oh excuse me, I don't want to pick that one up, I wanted to show you the way. It's easy to grow, especially from cuttings. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to grow it from seed. I imagine you can do that also. But the cuttings take off. And this particular fig, yellow long neck, gives quite a bit of fruit. Even as a young tree, it bears so much fruit. The little sample you have here is just the few that we gathered this morning that were ready to eat. But if you looked at our tree, you would see that it is laden with many figs that will soon be ready to eat. So it's a very generous fruit, and it's one that I believe you will enjoy. I'm going to open one up, but before I do, I want you to notice on the scale here, I don't know if you can see it, it's about 1/4 pound, and there are even bigger ones than this, but in general they are a really nice size. Alright, let's look at and see what one is like inside. A little messy here. Okay, there it is inside. And I will give it my taste test. Out of this world. So very sweet. Really, you cannot believe the taste of this fruit. It is just wonderful. I hope you're members of California Rare Fruit Growers, and if so, ask one of your friends to give you a cutting. Okay, thank you.